All right, so when we're drawing a face, our brains like to tell us we know what we're doing because we see faces all the time. But here are some tips and tricks to think about a face. Okay, so the face is basically egg-shaped, and when you draw the egg shape, you're actually seeing this part and this part. So when you turn it into a 2D shape and you've drawn it on your page, the egg shape you've made is actually starting right here. Often people draw the egg shape and put the eyes way up high when really the eyes are about halfway. Because this is the top of my head and we have to come all the way down to here. So this is the halfway point from the top of my head and the bottom, roughly. From here we have the nose. So from here to here, we're looking at about halfway. I'm making all these spaces at you. Halfway. And then from here to here, the lips are about halfway, about a third. Okay, so you're going to put your line for the lips here. Okay, so that's the first trick. So when we're drawing a face, think, okay, my eyes are actually halfway down the head, and then I have all this space up here to fill. So you've got the forehead, and then you've got more for the hair, and the hair is actually higher than the line you probably drew for the head, because your hair is on top, and it'll feel weird. It'll feel like you're drawing a floating hair, but it actually is higher than the line that you've drawn. And that's because if the hair was wet, then it would change the shape. So we're starting here. Okay, eyes halfway, nose halfway between there, mouth halfway between there. Great. Now, the other thing you want to look for is where things are lining up. Because if you draw your eyes and then the nose is over too far and the lips are another way, then you're going to feel like something's off. That's the other part about our brain, is it does know faces. So when something's off, it knows, but it may not be able to pinpoint exactly what that was. So some other little tips, don't get hung up on these either. These are just some little tips to help you to navigate the face on your page. So our eyes, the corners of our eyes line up with the edges of our nose. If our eyes are straight on, our pupils line up with the corner of our lips. So that's one way to check if the size of your nose and your lips are proportionate to the eyes. Our eyes could actually have another one right here. So if you're thinking, how much space do I need to leave between my two eyes, the two corners, it's about the same as one of your eyes. So I could fit a third eye right here. Our ears, and you can feel your own face and look in a mirror. It's pretty handy to have when you're working on a face. But our ears, the tips of them, when you look at me with my hair up, the tips of my ears are in line with my eyebrows. And the bottoms of my ears are in line with the bottom of my nose, if you're drawing ears on yours. My neck comes in from the ear, but it's hidden by my jawline, so it looks it's a little thinner at the bottom, and then our shoulders come out, but your neck, when you draw a shirt, actually kind of continues down a bit, and the shoulders are coming out from here. So far so good, clear as mud. Alright, so what have we covered? Head starts here, halfway, halfway, halfway. 3 eyes could fit across here. Oh, here we go. Under the nose, where your nostrils are, we have these little lines. Okay, and these little lines line up with the 2 bumps on your lip. So I like to draw them down a little bit, really lightly, or just imagine that they're there. But you want that little M of your lip to line up with the nostrils. So they'll come up and then they'll come out. So anywhere that there's hair, there's going to be some shadow if it's coming around your face. The hair can hide The ears, you could have your ears out a little bit. It might just cover the tips of your ears. Your hair will just go whatever way you want. Often mine is blowing, so it comes sideways like this in my paintings. So the hair might come across, and you'll see there's shadow here. We're just going to put a shadow across, and then you can add some lines for your hair to keep it whimsy. And you only see a little bit on this side. You could have hair that comes straight down in front, and that will also lengthen the neck, and you might not even see the shoulders anymore. You can have hair that's behind, so your hair just kind of disappears behind the shoulders. So I hope that helps you visualize your face. There's also some tutorials on just doing a basic face shape, because we don't want to get too hung up on this project on having a realistic face. It's really about staying loose and being open to the possibility to whoever this person is on your page, she's who she's meant to be. But I just wanted to give you some tips to help you troubleshoot in your painting, so we don't get too hung up on that, because it's tricky. It is tricky. Thanks for letting me make faces at you. So let's simplify drawing a face. We're going to do it in a little under 20 steps. So let's start with the U shape, and that's going to cut off about where half the head is. So a U shape is number 1. Second, if you're doing closed eyes, we're going to come in and just put the lines for the eyes. And we just start at the corner of the eye and work our way out. And the eye is just a little curved. Remember to leave some space in the middle, about enough for one eye. Next, we'll do an eyebrow, and you can have it come down the bridge of the nose if you'd like. And leave the other side without the bridge of the nose. It makes it look like there's a shadow on one side. You could also leave the bridge of the nose out, just do the eyebrows and add the bottom of the nose, just a line for the nose. Next, we add the lips, the top lip line. Remember, those two little bumps will line up with the nostrils. Then the center line. You can play with the shape of the center line. If you curl it up on the edge, then it makes it look like they're smiling. You can keep it neutral. You can really play with the emotion here. Next, we'll add the necklines. And they come out into the shoulders. And then some hair. And then if you'd like, you can add some details to customize your face, such as necklines, earrings. You could add designs in the hair or face. It's up to you. Alright, so here's another simplified face, but this time we're going to do eyes open. So we started with the U shape, and this time for the eyes we're starting with the top line, the arch. Then we have the iris, and if you notice, the whole circle isn't shown. And same with the pupil inside. And we leave a little bit of white for the reflection. Now if you're using paint with your face, then you can just add the reflection in later. Then we carry on with the eyebrows, the nose, the 3 lines of the lip, and then into the hair. And for this one, I made the hair blowing a bit, just for something different. Gave her a collarbone instead of a shirt. And her hair is just kind of tucking around behind her neck and over to the other side. And we can see one of her ears. And I gave her a little bit of eyelashes. And when the eyes are open, I like to put in the corner, and then the underline, and then the eyelid that we can see behind. If If you want to tilt your face, it's the same steps. You're just going to put your U on an angle. Then I like to turn my paper towards me so that the face is square on, so I can have the eyes level. And then we go through the lines. So the eyes, the nose, eyebrows. Again, you don't have to put in the bridge of the nose if you don't want to. You can just have the shadow of the undernose. And in this one, I added a little penguin friend. Now, shadows. When we're drawing, we're not really using a reference point, so I want you to think about just like a universal light source. So anywhere on the face that is pushed back or goes in is where those shadows will be. So that's going to be around your eyes. It's going to be the sides of your face, a little bit on the sides because it's coming back. Definitely right here under the bottom lip, under the nose a little bit depending on the angle of your face, but for now we're just keeping it straight on, but shadows here. So eyes, nose, under your mouth, and around the hairline. And under the chin. You go on the center of your forehead, the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose, your cheeks, and your chin. Now let's talk about shading. So shading is anywhere on the face that moves inwards. So around the eyes, where the hairline is, our underlip, under the nose, our top lip, under the chin and the sides of the neck. Sides of the face, your ears, if they're showing, will have a bit of shadow. And then as you move back into the hair, that will be darker and the back of the head will be darker. Highlights are anywhere that sticks out in the face. So anywhere, if you think of what's curved, we've got our eyelids, our cheeks, our forehead, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, and the chin. So I hope this helps, and I can't wait to see what you do.